Well, George, welcome to the Vanguard Realty Alliance agent highlight video. Thanks for being on today.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yep. So George, I always like to start off by just tell me a little bit about your background and why you got into real estate.
Sure. It's a little bit of an interesting story. When I got out of the Army in 2005, after going overseas several times with the infantry, I was kind of at the point where I just didn't want to work for anyone anymore. I was over the whole authority and taking orders and that whole thing. And this word entrepreneur really resonated with me.
Really?
It did. And I saw it as freedom.
Where did you get exposed to entrepreneurism?
It was actually
or entrepreneurship, I should say.
Entrepreneurship, yeah.
It was say entrepreneurism, either way.
Tomato. But I think it was just through some of the books that I was reading at the time. I don't remember which ones, but I just knew that there was a way for that freedom. And I'm an immigrant. I'm originally from Russia. So we came from communism. In that lifestyle, it's very prescriptive what you're going to end up doing. And I was just rebellious against that. So I always wanted to be my own leader, my own boss, do all these things that I want to do. It was more like I. And my family they were supportive, but it was new to them. So there was a little bit of hesitation. But anyways, I ended up getting out of the Army. I was 22, had a little bit of money, I call it new guy enthusiasm.
Yeah, there you go.
When you start a new project, you have all this energy. And you want to go out there and you want to channel it somewhere, but hopefully productive. I ended up partnering up with a few friends of mine, and we started doing experiential marketing. We was more like a direct marketing, door to door. And we just took this company with this office, we built it. We ended up expanding from here down to West Palm Beach, where I lived for 4 years. And it was a great experience. It was a good learning experience. And if you're an entrepreneur watching this, you know what learning experience means.
Yeah.
It means I hit rock bottom. I actually found myself in a place where I couldn't afford a third 33-cent cheeseburger. Yeah, at McDonald's. So
wow.
Yeah, that's real.
That's rock bottom.
It was. Oh my gosh. I was driving a little Ford Focus hatchback, and I had a donut on one of my wheels, and the brakes were so bad I couldn't drive with the windows up. I had to actually roll them down so the sound could.
Oh man,
it felt like an aquarium. Yeah, that was a while ago, and that was my first lesson in entrepreneurship. And I kind of got punched in the nose, and it was interesting how I ended up in real estate, because I recovered from that a little bit, well, a lot of it now. But I ended up moving back here, tail tucked, ended up getting couple random jobs, ended up going back to school. And my best friend from the Army was like, hey, have you ever considered real estate? And I thought, you know what? I'm falling back into that same little trap of having to work for people, having to take orders and whatnot. I thought, you know what? Let's try this from a new perspective. I didn't have a student mentality the first time around at all. What if I actually set my ego aside? It wasn't just I. But what if I actually learned it, prove everybody wrong, especially my family, because they were like, oh, you're going to try it again. We'll see you here in a couple years.
There you go.
And it added a little bit
of support, right?
It was, because it added spite, right? And that was kind of like the spark that
there you go.
Helps me build my business. So I came into real estate on the commercial side at first.
Really?
I did.
How did I not know that? Oh,
we just never talked about it,
Probably
right?
didn't listen.
No. Or maybe I didn't even mention it. But I did that for, I think it was like 6 or 8 months, and I hated it.
Really?
Oh, my goodness. I absolutely despised it. I went through the business with this new student mentality, but I'm like, man, this is just not for me. And one thing about me is I like routines, right? And if I commit to something, I'm not a good quitter. I don't like to walk away from things. I mean, there's always a benefit of the doubt. Like, I can fix this. It can be better. I can be better. But I ended up hitting this wall where I thought, you know what, I'm not enjoying myself, and I had to take this move, and I said, what am I going to do? So I ended up transitioning over to residential real estate, where I've been ever since. I came in as a single agent, got to build some really, really cool relationships, some strategic partnerships, which helped accelerate my business. I just took a really creative approach to building it, and I knew that referrals are going to be the lifeline no matter what. So once I built that up, within a year and a half, I ended up becoming the director of sales on a top 1% team in the country, which I'm grateful for. I got to learn a lot. I got to see what a quote-unquote level 7 team was and how to operate it, and what are just some of the moving pieces. And there's a lot of them.
It's a great experience.
It was. And that was a good learning experience because I actually got to see and I was exposed to it, and I had to go into situations where I was uncomfortable, but I broke through those molds.
So talking about growth and you joining Vanguard Realty Alliance, which again, we're thrilled to have you.
I'm excited to be here.
I'm really excited about our growth and expanding into a new market. So
very much looking forward to that.
Can you talk a little bit about what your role is with Vanguard in terms of expansion down into Wilmington?
So starting off in Wilmington, the goal is actually to grow all through the state of Delaware. And I'm going to be the director of expansion for that. I'm going to call it the mission. As we're talking now, we're in the midst of creating the processes, the resources, the timelines, everything that's needed for someone to come on and be just super successful.
Yeah, our goal is really to empower human potential by creating wealth in real estate.
Yeah.
Specifically through helping agents transition from that roller coaster to the investor train. That's what we do. And it's not like everyone has to do it exactly the same way because everyone takes their own path, but we want to empower people to do that, make sure that we give them the knowledge and resources, and also lead by example. So not just talk the talk, but walk the walk. Show people, look, I'm not just telling you to go buy property. We're doing it. Here's who's doing it. If you're interested in going this direction, here's the person to follow. If you want to go this direction, here's who you should follow. Because it's really the whole success leaves clues things. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just find someone that's doing.
It takes so much more time to do that.
Just follow someone that's already there.
Exactly.
That's been there. And what I've found is that the investors, generally speaking, have a very abundant mentality if they're successful, which are the ones that you want to follow. And they're generally willing to share information because there are no secrets. This is not new. It's not like we have some secret sauce. It's just knowledge that you probably haven't been exposed to. And then also, the confidence to do it yourself, which is really just monkey see, monkey do. It's like this knucklehead can go buy an apartment building. I can do it. If he could do it, I could do it. And I hate to break it down so simple, but that's really what we do. That's
kind of it. That's exactly it.
So we invite you, if that's appealing to you, please reach out. We're in process. Our Wilmington office will be open in the next few weeks, and we're really excited about that. But we are already licensed in Wilmington, so we can transition you right away.
Yeah.
Reach out. We'll put the info below. George, thanks for being on. Any last closing comments, words, quotes, anything that you want to leave with anyone?
There's just so much going on in my mind right now. Like it's a lot of excitement, a lot of optimism. I know this is going to be a very successful project. I know for a fact. But I would just encourage you, if you're even curious, just find out what's going on. That's it. Like this isn't designed to be like a sales pitch at all, because that's one thing I really liked about your approach when I first met you was you're just not a hard closer. Like you're not like you're here to serve.
Some people have come back like, why didn't you try to recruit me? What do you mean? I was just having a conversation,
right?
And they got like upset because I'm not into stroking your ego.
Exactly.
We're either in alignment or we're not.
And that's the thing. Like we're not in alignment with everyone.
Yeah.
But we want to help as many people as we can. And, coming from a servant leadership approach, it's who can I help?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Who can we help together?
Sorry, it's my first podcast.
There we go. But you're an MC, so he's got the MC voice. That's good. All right. Well, we'll wrap it up. But again, please reach out if you need to.
Awesome.
Thanks.
See you guys.